Whew. All right. So it is late March. Water is very cold. After many years of very little success in March and April here in West Michigan fishing for bass and pike, I finally did a little research, watched some YouTube videos, and figured out that the best lure to use this time of year is a lipless crankbait. This happens to be one of my favorite. It's a Rapella, and I love this color as well with that dot on the side there. And starting to fish the lipless crankbait in a specific way during March and April totally transformed my early spring fishing experiences here. I went from having very little success for many years to consistent success. Not only do I consistently catch bass and pike with this lipless crankbait and other ones, I've also started to catch some rather largemouth. Some of the bigger largemouth I've landed have been in the early spring with the lipless crankbait. So the technique is really just to let it go down deep into the deeper water, tick the tops of the weeds if you can, and then reel, pause, reel, pause, or reel, and then give it a jerk and make it flutter. And oftentimes the strikes will come on the pause or when you make it flutter. So a steady technique can be effective, but I've definitely learned that pause or making it flutter, giving your rod tip a jerk here and there, that often triggers the strikes, especially from pike. So I've been catching some pike already here in this pond during the month of March just from the shore. So figured I'd get the kayak out today, come out here and give it another try. So it was supposed to be sunny all afternoon. Well, at the last minute they changed the forecast and added a chance of rain this afternoon, which is very frustrating for me. When they change the forecast like that at the last minute, very frustrating as a fisherman and a motorcyclist, but it is what it is. So without any more talking, let's get out there and fish. Man, first cast with this lipless crankbait, and I've already got a fish on. I can't believe it. Is it a bass or a pike? I'm using my ugly stick ultralight here. I think it's a nice bass. Yeah, very nice bass. Not bad. I think this one of the first bass, if not the first I've caught this year. Ooh, I snagged him on the top of the head. He did hit it, believe me. He hit it twice, I believe. Thank you, sir. Great way to start the day on the first cast. So I'll show you my technique. So I'm just casting it out into the deeper water here. Let it fall for a few seconds, then I'm retrieving and give it a jerk. Retrieve, give it a jerk. Retrieve, give it a jerk. Retrieve, give it a jerk. So sometimes I'll just pause, sometimes I'll give it a jerk. That's pretty much it. It's not anything too complicated. Anybody can do this. All right, I'm gonna keep on fishing. I'll hit record again when I get another fish on. So the rest of yesterday was a bust. I caught a nice bass on the first cast, and then the temperature rapidly started to drop. Rain started moving in, and I didn't catch any more fish and went home cold and shivering. So came back out today because the sun is out. There's quite a strong north wind, but at the north end of the lake here, it's fairly calm. So I'm back out here hoping that this sunshine has turned the fish back on, and let's give it a try. Gonna stick with what has worked the last several years for me this Rapella Lipless crankbait. So let's give it a shot. See if I can catch a bass or pike or both. What a gorgeous day. There's my first fish of the day. Had one other hit and missed him. This one really thumped it. Ooh, it looks like a nice bass. I've caught some really big largemouths this time of year, late March, early April, on this Rapella Lipless crankbait. This is a nice bass. He's really pulling in this cold water. Oh yeah, nice fish. A little bit bigger than the one I caught yesterday, I believe. Fantastic. First fish of the day today. Oh yes. I think he deserves a picture with the iPhone as well. The camera is so awesome on my phone. Takes such high quality pictures. There we go. Awesome. Let's get the hooks out of your mouth, sir, and let you go. So I'll show you the technique I'm using with the lipless crankbait in the early spring cold water here at this lake. In 3 visits, I've landed 2 pike, 2 bass, and had several other fish on that I lost. So I'm casting it, and this is fairly deep water here. Let it sink a little bit, reel it back, and then jerk it. Reel it back, jerk it. Each hit I've gotten has been on the jerk or during a pause, which makes this look like a wounded bait fish, I'm sure. I haven't gotten any hits, I don't think, on during a steady retrieve, only during the jerks and the pauses. I think I got a hump with some shallower water right here. I can feel the bottom. It's incredibly effective if you can get the lipless crankbait to tick the tops of the weeds without obviously getting too caught up in the weeds. That's a fantastic technique. That's all I'm doing. The great thing about this lipless crankbait is casts a mile even in the wind, and you can cover a ridiculous amount of water in a very short time. So one of many reasons I really have grown to love it during early spring bass and pike fishing. I don't want to exaggerate or anything, because early spring fishing, even when you find a lure like this and a technique like this that works, it still can be very slow and require tons of patience. I mean, if I catch a couple fish during an outing, I'm pretty satisfied for this time of year when the water's ultra cold still, and Michigan weather is very, very volatile year-round, but especially at this time of year in between spring and winter. You know, a lot of nights we're still getting down into the 20s and still having snowstorms on the regular, so the water's still very, very cold. And even though this technique does work consistently, it does require a lot of patience. But I just love being out here close to nature, fresh air, listening to the red-winged blackbirds, which is one of the sure signs of spring. So there's another one right in this corner. Ooh! He's pulling harder than the last one. Whatever he is, I don't know if this is a pike or a bass. What we got? Pike. We'll use the net for him. So slimy. So today is already a little bit more successful. I figured it would be with the sun shining. Pretty good sized pike. Not bad. Thank you, sir. Get my hand under his gills here. Yeah. And there we go. Get them disentangled from my line here. Get a quick picture of them. In the sunshine. Thank you, sir. Nice little pike. A lot of fun. Whew! Yeah, that's fantastic. What a thump. You really smacked that lipless crankbait. There's another one. Oh, bass? Yeah. He really thumped it. Whew! Yeah, today's been a good day. Just drifting with the wind, covering tons of ground, tons of water, sorry. Ooh, he was not coming off. I think he might require pliers. Nope, not requiring the pliers, so. Thank you, sir. Chunky little bass. Wow. Pike strike right next to the boat. Oh my gosh. I was just about ready to take the lure out of the water and he swallowed it. Holy cow. He's hooked pretty deep too, I think. That was wild. Woo! There we go. Wow, that was amazing. That's been a good day. Really good day by early spring standards here. All right. Let's get some pliers out and unhook this guy. Man, pike are so aggressive. Almost to the south end of the lake here. Getting pretty shallow and weedy, harder to fish. So I'm just kind of sitting here basking in the glorious sunshine. And then I have a kind of a long paddle back, but I'm looking forward to the exercise, so it's definitely not a bad thing. So I think I've caught 3 pike and 2 bass, and by my standards that's a really successful early spring fishing trip for bass and pike. So yeah, it was fantastic. So time to paddle back to my truck, head home and eat some dinner. So thanks a lot for coming along with me.